So I'm fresh off of my ride of the Honda Hornet 1000 SP, and I got to tell you guys, I'm rather taken with this motorcycle. I mean, what's not to love about this thing? For $11,000, you get 150 horsepower, an Öhlins rear shock, a up and down quick shifter that performs flawlessly, some of the best electronic throttle mapping in the business, a nice looking TFT screen with multiple rider modes, a playful attitude. You get the idea. This is a fun, great bike to ride, and anybody would have a ball with it. And it's kind of changed the game when it comes to these leader class sport naked bikes. So much so that Suzuki had to lower the price of the GSX S1000 just to compete. Now it offers up the same horsepower and some of the same doodads, but the reality is that, well, the Honda Hornet, it's that good, and it is that affordable, and it is that muscle bike that a lot of folks love to ride. Very wheelie happy and just so much fun character with that intake growl. Oh, I could just keep going. But the more I thought about the Honda Hornet, the more I got to thinking about how I was a little bit sad, not for the Honda or the motorcycle, but for another brand that could have taken on this mantle, that badass in black hot rod. It should have come from Harley Davidson. Look, we were teased with the Bronx and the Street Fighter years ago. Well, that is in essence what the Honda Hornet is. And keep in mind that Harley Davidson has all of the stuff that they need to make this bike, or to make that bike that they teased us with. We've got a 150 horsepower engine in that RevMax 1200. It's basically child's play to put together a chassis and suspension bits that will make this work. Throw in a good looking TFT screen and maybe give an SP version with better suspension parts. Price it right, and Harley Davidson could, or it could have, been attracting a younger, more sport-oriented rider. Instead of putting out cruiser-ish bikes with a power plant that maybe doesn't really fit the look. And I get it, the Pan America is a great bike and all, but it's just not sporty. It's not going to bring in that youthful crowd. And look, at $11,000, I get it. It might be tough to usher in a price point type bike for a brand that's built around, well, aspirational values. But the reality is this: everywhere on the planet that Hornet 1000 SP has been ridden, everywhere that it's been reviewed, everywhere that it's been experienced, every reporter, every journalist that has come back with anything to say about that bike has been positive. And with my experience with that machine, I can completely understand why. And again, at that price point, we're not looking for top shelf components, and that's not necessarily what you're getting with the Hornet. Although the Öhlins rear shock is nice, this is not a machine that's going to be built for carving up the racetrack or anything like that. This is a street bike, and it's meant to be fun and a little bit of a hooligan. Well, isn't that what Harley Davidson is supposed to be known for? Attitude, that badassery that Harley Davidson tries to sell so well. They could have easily made a motorcycle that would have been the predecessor to the Hornet with what they already have in the freaking warehouse. And I'm just kind of blown away by this. I'm hoping that one day Harley Davidson will wake up and figure out that just selling the same cruiser over and over again to an aging and dwindling fan base and customer base, that they need to get into a more youthful market, have motorcycles with a Harley heritage, with a racing heritage, which the RevMax does indeed have a motorcycle that does cater to the more youthful crowds. Because when the old guard is gone, I don't know that anybody is backfilling that customer base and is going to take up the mantle for these more heritage-based bikes. And if you look at any other manufacturers that are out there, if they were heritage-based, say for example, Triumph comes to mind first. Based in heritage, but tons of diversity within the lineup. You've got sport bikes, you've got dirt bikes, you've got, well, the list just goes on and on. Plenty of motorcycles and plenty of different and diverse types of bikes for the different and diverse type of rider that are out there. Harley Davidson, I hope you're listening, and I hope you haven't slept on this segment, because you've got everything that you need to make a real contender for the top spot in this hotly contested leader class sport naked class. Just do it. It's just that easy. And with that, I think you're going to start bringing in a ton of more excitement and a ton of more youth into a brand that couldn't need it any worse now. But with that, guys, post up your comments. Let me know what you think, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.